When a breaker trips in your home, it's normally a pretty simple matter to reset it. But if it keeps tripping, then that's your electrical system telling you that there's a problem, and it's worth listening to. But let's start with the basics. When a breaker trips, it won't go all the way to the off position. In fact, it will normally look more on than it does off. In fact, this breaker right here is tripped. And here's the on breakers. If it were off, it's going to be all the way over to the left. And to reset it, you don't simply push it to the on position. You have to take it all the way to the off position and then to the on position. That's how simple it is to reset a breaker. Now let's talk about why breakers trip, because that matters. The most common reason a breaker trips is because the circuit is overloaded. It's carrying too much current. There's too many things plugged into the few outlets on a circuit. And this happens a lot in kitchens where there's heavier loads such as fryers, toaster ovens, toasters, microwaves, coffee makers. And normally, if this is what's causing a breaker to trip, when you reset it, it's not going to trip immediately. It often takes a few seconds, even up to a minute to trip. So if you reset a breaker and it trips a few seconds up to a minute later, then you know the circuit's overloaded. The simplest way to fix that is to turn something off or to move things around so everything's not on the same circuit. And that'll normally fix the problem. Now, if a breaker trips the instant you reset it, then that's normally an indication of a more serious electrical problem, such as a wiring issue or a problem with a piece of equipment that's plugged in. And in that situation, resetting it over and over isn't going to fix the problem. So here's when you should stop trying to reset a breaker. If it trips instantly when you try to reset it, if it trips over and over the same day, if it trips with nothing plugged in, or if you notice a burning smell, heat, or a buzzing sound coming from your breaker panel, then those are indications of a more serious problem, and you shouldn't just simply try to reset that breaker over and over. So a breaker that trips once isn't normally an emergency, but a breaker that trips over and over is an indication of a more serious problem. And resetting it over and over isn't going to fix the problem. It'll simply mask the problem, or the breaker is just going to continue to trip. So it's not going to do you any good. So in summary, to reset a breaker, you take it to the off position and to the on position. If it stays on, great, your problem is solved. If it stays on for a few seconds up to a minute, then that tells you that your circuit is overloaded and you need to turn some things off or move some things around so you don't have so many loads on that one circuit. If it trips instantaneously, then that's an indication that you've got a more serious wiring problem or a problem with a piece of equipment that's plugged in. And that's normally a good time to call an electrician. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. I really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.